there, I am Sarah Kolis. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we talk about all things bridal, dresses, and general dressing up topics. I love to encourage women to dress up while expressing their personal style with confidence on how to do so. Visit sarahkolis.com to book a bridal alterations fitting or even inquire about designing the custom couture bridal gown of your dreams. I'm so excited to talk to you about this next topic. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, again to the Dressing Up podcast. Today, I have two very special guests. We have Melissa Kolis and Cameron Schreiber, and I'm very excited to have this conversation. How about Cam? Can you just walk us through your day yesterday?
Yesterday was a pretty special day. So we arrived at the Kolis household for a inconspicuous pool party, and very early on, Melissa realized it was actually the day we were getting engaged. So I proposed, and it was a really special event.
Yay. Melissa, how was your day? How'd it go for you?
It was really good. I didn't wake up that day thinking I was going to get engaged, so I was definitely surprised. It took me a second to realize what was going on, but when I saw his family standing there, that's when I kind of figured out something was happening. But it was really special. It was exactly what I hoped for. It was really nice.
Oh, that's so special. So for those that don't know, I have three sisters. So Melissa is the baby of the family, and she's been dating Cam for how long have you two been together now?
About 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Yeah. So we were kind of looking forward to this. I know Melissa was excited for this in the weeks leading up to it. She just didn't know when it was going to happen. So I think we pulled off the surprise though.
I think so too.
Yeah.
From the tears I saw and how spontaneous they were, I think it was pretty surprising.
Yeah. I did put a lot of thought into when he would propose, which I maybe thought about it too much, but I was expecting it to be next weekend. So I really was surprised that it was earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome.
Melissa was asking me earlier, I think just this past week, when she should have her nails done and when she should be looking pretty. And I told her to change her nails every Friday for the next 15 weeks.
Yeah, just in case.
And little did she know, it's just about a week away.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. Yeah. Just make sure it's done every Friday.
And so I did. I did it that Friday.
Your nails looked really fresh. You got a nice light purple, pastel purple going on. So it looks nice. So for those that are watching on YouTube, Melissa, go ahead and hold up your ring to the camera. And go ahead, Melissa, can you explain your ring to us for our podcast listeners?
Yes. So it is a simple gold band. It's pretty thin. And then an oval diamond. It's raised a little bit, which I really like. It kind of makes it stand out more. I want something pretty simple. I think Cam got me exactly what I was kind of asking for. So, yeah.
I think you mentioned that maybe since it is a more classic, simple style, that you were going to jazz it up more with the wedding band. Maybe.
Yeah, so I want something a little more sparkly with the wedding band.
Yeah. So that's where the more like interest will come from.
Yeah.
Too. So Cam, tell us about the ring shopping. How did that go?
Ring shopping was a lot of fun. It was about a 4-week process. We went into the jewelers multiple times. I actually went alone, for the majority of it. And Melissa had given me a lot of guidance in the weeks leading up to it, even, the months leading up to it, just Pinterest links and ideas of what to look out for. So I knew it was going to be an oval diamond from pretty much the start. I knew we wanted to do the simple, kind of timeless design in the minimal band. So I had a lot of good guidance from her. And
maybe too much.
Yeah.
In great detail what she wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
There was a little bit of customization, but yeah, I pretty much knew stepping in there the first day what we wanted to do.
So I'm going to share a little bit of the back end of yesterday because neither of you were there. So the whole plan was to have this summer pool party at our parents' house, which is not unusual at all. And what happened was Cam's immediate family and Melissa's immediate family all knew what was going on. So we all set up and arrived at the party very early and awaiting Melissa and Cam to show up, and Cam was going to pop the question in the backyard. So it was really exciting having about a solid hour with Cam's family, just the two families just mingling and all. And we had some appetizers and a few drinks and things like that. So it was really, really fun. And then we started tracking Melissa's phone. So Melissa has the tracking device of some of my other sisters. So we were just following that dot the whole way they were coming home. And we thought for sure that Melissa had to have been suspicious enough that we really did think that you knew.
Wasn't.
And I was really hoping, I'm like, I kind of almost hope she knew so that she'd have her hair and makeup done and the whole outfit and everything. But sure enough, when she shows up, she is a little on edge as to why Cam's family was here, because that wasn't part of the original pool party plan. So she shows up, and then I'll let you take it from here.
So when we pulled into like our driveway, kind of, I saw a car in the street and I was like, that looks like Cam's parents' car. And then he kind of like brushed it off. I was like, oh, it must be someone else. Then we started walking up the driveway and I saw these pink balloons and everything looked a little nicer than just a normal pool party. And then I walked up and saw someone in Cam's family, like locked eyes with them. And I was like, wait, something's going on. But also I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if mom and dad just invited them because, you know, why not? But everyone kept the secret really, really well. I saw everyone, his whole family the day before, and they all said they were going to go to like Arts, Beats, and Eats that day. So I wasn't suspicious of anything. And then we had some family show up later, which was really nice. So we could kind of tell everybody all at once.
Walking up to the event for the first time, I didn't know if Melissa already had, you know, an idea of what was going on, or if she was trying to kind of convince herself that she didn't know. Later, we learned that she honestly was surprised, but we were walking up and she was thinking out loud, like, oh, what are these pink balloons? Oh, what are the coolers doing here? Like, oh, why are all these cars here? So for a little bit, I thought it wasn't going to be very surprising, but it was.
Melissa was that naive all the way up until the moment.
I was really, really hoping it would happen, but I was like, no. I mean, the whole morning, Cam was not suspicious at all. Like, he kind of took a nap. He didn't have his face shaved. We went to Target and Starbucks, and it was just like nothing unusual.
Just a normal day.
And I would have thought he would be like nervous or like acting weird, you know, but he did a good job, like keeping it cool.
We were driving up just a couple of minutes before pulling into your driveway, and Melissa sneezed and she was sniffling a little bit. And I immediately got concerned that she was already starting to tear up for whatever reason. Oh. Maybe she already knew. So I looked at her very concerned, and she was like, what? And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, nothing. But yeah, it was great.
It's just probably cat allergies.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. And then, so what happens from there? So we see Melissa. We could tell Melissa's very suspicious, but she was very insistent that she wanted to go put her purse down in the house first.
I think it was a fight or flight response.
Yeah. Well, I was holding my purse, my Stanley water bottle, and I was chewing gum. So I was like, if this is happening, I don't want any of this stuff on me. So I just ran in the house real quick and set stuff down, which I probably should have just went with it, but I just want to get everything off. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
And then where did the actual proposal happen?
So there's a little area in our parents' backyard that there's like these little stepping stones, and it kind of goes in a circle, and there's a bench there. Yeah, it's not like super deep into the woods, but kind of right there. So we kind of walked around through that circle and then stopped at the bench, and he was talking to me the whole time we were walking around the circle. We talked about it later, but I was like, I have no idea what you said. I was so like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like everyone's looking at me like whatever. And then when we got to the bench, that's when I was like, okay, this is actually happening. And then he got down on his knee. It was really sweet. I almost saw him cry. I've never seen him cry the whole time. He was so close, but maybe I'll see it on the wedding day or something.
My words got a little bit trembled, but yeah, kept it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was really fun. Then after you two actually got engaged, you got your ring on, and then you were able to celebrate immediately with both sides of the immediate family. And that was super, super special.
That's one of the things I really wanted. I told Cam, like, I want both of our families to be there, at least like around, you know, like somehow. So it was nice that you planned that.
Yeah.
Walking into the woods on the path, technically. So we had a very, specific plan of what was supposed to go down. I apparently entered the wrong, I entered through the exit of the path. And so there was a little bit of a gasp I heard from the audience as we passed the initial bench that I was supposed to get down on the knee. But we did a little loop. I think it was relatively seamless, and we got back to the intended spot, and I think it went smoothly, even though it wasn't 100% the plan.
I thought that was actually good. At first I was like, oh my gosh, you missed this spot. But then I think it was good because it gave you just another few seconds just to like sink in the moment and like get Melissa ready. So she clearly knew this was happening and could calm down just that little bit more. So,
and that's where I'm thankful we did do the planning and some of the practice runs, because even though it didn't go exactly to plan, the fact that we kind of walked through it meant that the, couple minutes that were going a little bit off course, I think were smoother, simply because we had the end goal in mind of where it was supposed to happen and how it was supposed to look. So
yeah. Oh, that's so great. So tell us a little bit more about your relationship before yesterday. So how did you two meet, and what sort of fun things have you experienced up until yesterday as a couple?
yeah, so we met through a mutual couple of friends. So Melissa had this friend, Megan. I had my friend, Andrew, and they were dating for a couple of years before they introduced us, and they got us going on a blind date together. They told me it was, a blind date. They told Melissa that we were just meeting a friend at, dinner or something. So before the date, I've told this story before. I was going around to all of my buddies saying, like, I got a date. I got like this hot date. Yeah. And she was walking around to all of her friends saying, like, oh, I have to, hang out with Megan and this random guy.
That's kind of true.
Yeah, clearly. We thought about it like completely different. I didn't know the full story.
Perspectives.
Yeah. Look at how well it worked out.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
Yeah, I remember Melissa calling me up at college, and she was telling me about how she was going on the blind date like next week or something. And she called me a couple times that week, just how nervous she was. She was just
Really?
like, yeah, you were just like, I don't know, this is gonna be weird. It's gonna be awkward, and it's gonna be awkward because I'm awkward, not from him. I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to ask him to the sorority dance, you kept saying.
That was after we met.
That was after you met? Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, there was this moment, from my perspective, what I heard you say is that you were supposed to ask Cam to this dance, but you just got so nervous to ask him. So what happened?
So we hung out with our friends Megan and Andrew that introduced us. We were hanging out for like a couple hours. We went to dinner, then we like went back to our apartment and stuff. And the whole time I was supposed to like ask him to go to this dance. Megan and Andrew even like went upstairs so we could be alone and I could ask him, and I still didn't do it because I was just like, what if he doesn't want to, or what if he thinks I'm like weird? I don't know.
Yeah.
So then, it's getting late and we're like, okay, it's kind of time to go. And then Megan was like, hey, Cam, what are you doing next weekend? And so she kind of asked him for me, which I still feel bad about, but I'm glad that you did end up coming and someone did ask you.
It's a story.
It's a story. I mean,
it's very on brand for Melissa too.
Yeah.
So
if I would have known we'd be getting engaged then I would have asked and been more comfortable. You were thinking,
I was literally putting my shoes on to leave.
Yeah, we're all
when
putting
Megan
your
started the
shoes
conversation.
right at the last second.
Yeah.
Well, thank God it happened. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan. Yeah.
So what else have you guys done together the past several years? What are some highlights of your relationship?
Yeah, definitely. So the first couple of years, we were spending our last couple of years at Grand Valley. I think we kind of hit it off right away. We didn't go on any like big vacations or any big events for the first couple of years we were dating. COVID came into factor, pretty soon in. So I think we were only dating for about a year or two, maybe a year and a half, when we had to spend, I think, 6 months apart. So there was a lot of Netflix party, afternoons where we would just be hanging out on Teams or, FaceTime. Yeah. But then once COVID stopped and we were able to spend a lot more time together, I think that's when our relationship really got serious, and we started to talk about the future a little bit a couple of years in. Since then, we've done a lot of things with each other's families, whether it's camping, whether it's going to, Aruba. That was another one. A lot of fun times over the years.
Faster Horses. We've been going to that for the past 3 years with Cam's brother and his girlfriend, and his parents came and his aunt. So that's kind of like a new tradition for us, something we can do every year now.
Going to concerts like Faster Horses have been a big thing we've done together. Like Melissa said, new tradition. Every year we go camping at Faster Horses. Since dating, we've gone to Glass Animals, Kelsey Ballerini, Blink-182. I don't know if we would have done all of these concerts together and had these fun nights together if we weren't spending it with each other. So definitely thankful for those nights.
Yeah.
So if you are listening to this episode and you are engaged yourself, you can also listen to episode 5 of the Dressing Up podcast. And I have lots of tips. You two should be listening to this. Lots of tips for post-engagement. So tips and things on that. And one of the things you'll hear me say in that episode is to not do what I'm about to ask you to, which is to talk about the wedding too soon. But, day after getting engaged, because I have you on this podcast and I know our listeners are dying to know, do you have any ideas of definite things that you want a part of your wedding day?
I know a little bit like in terms of venue, I know I want like windows, something kind of bright, greenery. For dress, like I have no idea. There's a lot of things I just have no idea. I just know I want like a bright venue.
Okay,
And
bright venue, check. Let's do that.
I don't know. That's kind of the only thing I've thought about so far.
What about you, Kim?
Yeah, so I think Melissa and I are aligned in the fact that we want a little bit of a more intimate space. So a wedding on the smaller side of things, close friends, family naturally, but we want to keep it probably under 120 to 150. That would even be pushing it. That would be a big wedding in our eyes. So we really want the people to be there, to be the most special people in our lives. And, you know, coming from my side of the family isn't super big. And I know your side of the family isn't even that huge. So that's kind of important to us. We like the idea of a traditional wedding. We're definitely going to do a church service into the reception. I know that isn't as common in today's, you know, day and age as it used to be just a couple of years ago. So trying to keep it traditional, trying to keep it classy, timeless, I think is in both of our styles.
Very good. Since I have you on this podcast, Cam, I want to hear from you. What do you envision Melissa wearing on the wedding day?
Oh, good question. Probably white if I had to just, you know.
Okay, now I need to pause there because are we talking white or are we talking ivory or light ivory?
Ooh.
Is this all under the white umbrella for you or are we talking white?
I think if Melissa is so determined on having a bright venue, I would guess that her dress would be equally as bright and shiny, so potentially as pure of a white as possible. But that is truly a shot in the dark. I have no idea.
Okay, what else?
In terms of the venue or the dress, I would guess that she wants something relatively flowy and regal and, you know, a tail. Is that what it's called? A tail?
A train.
A train. Potentially that could be something in her repertoire, something she might bring out. I don't know. Does everybody do a veil? Is a veil optional?
It's whatever you want.
I want a veil.
She wants a veil, so I think that would be something that's going to be part of the dress. So, yeah, those are some.
What are some, maybe just like some vocabulary words or adjectives, I should say, to describe the way Melissa will look on the wedding day?
Oh, well, Melissa is going to look pristine. She's going to look elegant. She is going to be shining, and it's going to be great.
Oh, so exciting. So you have a long journey here ahead of you, long or short. We'll see when the wedding date actually happens, but we're going to focus just on being engaged for a few more moments before we really dive into wedding planning. I'm sure I'll be involved a little bit, as little or as much as you'd like me to. I'm excited regardless to just watch it happen. So.
We're excited too. Speaking of you being involved, we were just talking on the car ride over here. It is interesting having a professional in the family. It's a little bit intimidating. I feel like if I say something wrong or something off kilter, it's just going to get brushed off immediately. And this guy's an idiot.
Know what we're talking about. He's not invited anymore. Oh, man. Well, I feel like the opposite. I feel like I have a little bit of pressure to make sure I'm guiding you in the right way and not overstepping boundaries and things like that. So as always, I'm here when you need me. I'm an open book.
I definitely want to thank Cam's family for coming over to my family's house. I know he kind of talked with his aunt a lot about the process and his parents. So I'm really thankful that they were there and supportive of us. And of course, for my family for hosting it, getting everything ready and all beautiful for us was really special. And just everyone else who showed up to celebrate us, that was really sweet. And it meant a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's going to be too many people to thank individually, but a couple that definitely stick out. Mrs. Kolis and Angela from, you know, the start, they were a lot of help collaborating everything and actually bringing all the decorations and the party together. So I have to thank them. Definitely the whole Kolis family for hosting and providing such a loving environment from the start. Also thankful to my family for kind of leading me through a lot of the thought process and the struggles that just come with, you know, thinking about the next step in our lives here, particularly my mom and my aunt Anne. You know, they've been the rock through kind of this whole process on my side of things. So wanted to thank all of those.
Yes.
So I also especially want to thank your dad for taking pictures because I really wanted some like nice pictures of us getting engaged. And you kind of took pictures of all like the group and like all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate that. And Sarah, of course.
Oh,
thank you. You got me that nice like wedding planning book, which was super sweet. You made sure you did like the GoPro video of it. And of course you were also taking pictures, and it just made things a little more seamless.
You're so welcome. Yes. Well, I had so much fun yesterday. Yesterday was just a fabulous day, not only in your lives, but I genuinely will remember yesterday as one of the best days of my life. So it was very exciting and fun. And the pool party did turn into a pool party / engagement party. And it was really hopping. There was a lot of people there, a lot of awesome friends and family friends and extended family. And it was so great to see everybody, even myself. I'm sure you were exhausted.
Yeah.
Just holding up her hand all night long, showing everybody.
Yeah, my throat was kind of hurting this morning. Like I talked a lot more than I usually do.
Yeah.
So,
and you two just got coffee, and tell me what you talked about on your coffee date.
pretty much nothing. Like we were like silent and just kind of sitting there drinking
Just
our
exhausted.
coffees. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're tired but happy.
We were in this really awkward mindset last night driving away from the party where we were absolutely exhausted, but just on cloud nine at the same time because we just got engaged. So we were half falling asleep and half just chit-chatting for hours after the party, and it was special.
Yeah. It's a very good day. So you two are guests on my podcast. You know, obviously you're family, but I still have to ask you the question that I ask all my podcast guests.
I had to think about it. And I know what it is.
You know what it is.
I think.
So what is your favorite item in your closet right now for each of you? If you know it.
Okay.
Okay.
I know actually. It's the jeans I wore when Cam actually proposed to me. Those are like my favorite jeans ever, and they
I
fit so
recommended
well.
those jeans to you.
Yeah, you did. And
The ribcage Levi's, if you're
yeah,
wondering.
I wear them probably too often. Like I repeat those jeans a lot, but they just like are my favorite. They're so comfortable.
Well, then good thing you got proposed in them.
And yeah, and I knew that. I was like, if I wore these when I was getting engaged, like I wouldn't mind. Like they're cute, and I think it was like nice, and I don't know. So that's my favorite.
Just a good staple pair of jeans that fit you just right.
What about jewelry? Because I have a favorite.
Okay,
jewelry.
go ahead.
Well, now it's my ring.
Yeah,
but also
second favorite.
second piece is this Kendra Scott necklace.
Oh, cute.
It's like really cute. It's just a little pendant thing. I wear it. It goes with almost anything, so I wear it a lot. But that's another favorite. That's mine.
Super cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cam?
My favorite piece of clothing in my closet right now are a pair of jogger pants that I don't wear very often at all because the situation doesn't call for them too often. They are kind of abstract, a collage of colors. It's a canvas material. Me and my brothers call them my pimper pants. And we bought them on Black Friday after going out to dinner and having a drink or two. I think I've only worn them in Vegas and maybe for one party at my brother's house.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen these pants.
No, and nor will you.
Maybe you should bring them out for your bachelor party or something.
That'd be exciting. That would truly be an event.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love it. Cool. Any last words for this podcast episode?
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you for having us.
Finally.
Yes, so excited. I've been actually planning on having you two on this podcast, but I couldn't tell you in advance. I'm like, I'll have to wait till after they engage, and you two just happen to be in Novi today. So I was like, let's hop on and do this.
Yeah. It's good to like think about it right after it happens, so like we don't forget anything.
It's all fresh.
Yeah. Oh, I had one more piece of advice for you guys that maybe our listeners would enjoy hearing too. After I got engaged, I typed out my entire day in like a journal format. And Billy did it as well. And it's funny to see the things that didn't quite add up together. But from the moment I waked up until the moment I fell asleep, I wrote down every single detail I possibly could. And I've read it back before, and there's some things I've forgotten about. So I did that after we got engaged and then after our wedding. And it's just really special because you'll know you'll never forget every detail if you write it down.
That's a great idea.
Reading yours, and I was like, oh, I should do that when I got engaged.
There we go.
I'm glad you said that. Now I can do it.
Yay. Okay. Well, thanks you two. And I'm sure our listeners will be hearing more from you later. Yeah. Once wedding stuff actually happens. All right. Off to wedding planning. Okay. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode has allowed you to approach the world with greater confidence in your own personal style. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through email or the inquiry form on the website. I hope you are all ready to go and get dressed up. I look forward to sharing more dressing up tips with you in future episodes. Thanks so much.